deck are, we've got Sajani, Trundle, Swain, Gangplank, Twisted Fate, and then Draven up here at the top end. So just pretty good rate cards overall. One of the things you really want to make sure you keep track of when you build Singleton decks is, while obviously you can't have the strict consistency that you would in decks that have multiple cards, your curve's a really big consideration, right? So even though you don't have multiple of the same cards, you'll note the way this deck's constructed, the curve's great, right? Like we've got number of ones, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to 9 on the curve. So that's a good thing to look at. Even if you can't have multiples of the same cards, you want to have multiple cards at each spot on your curve so you have plays to make as the game goes on. Hey. Opponent is playing something aggressive here. Okay. So I think I'm going to mulligan Zap. Rest of these seem fine. Just like good cheap cards to play to the board. Thanks to folks checking out the Vikings promo, by the way. If you do it on PC there, you see there's some names popping up on the overlay. So PC shows you the name of whoever does it. On mobile, it just says someone, but it does still count.
Everything's in place. Behind you.
Just making it rain here. I'm just gonna make it rain to gain 2. Opponent's archetype is pretty aggressively slanted here, so keeping my life total high seems ideal. Next turn, we can play Legion Grenadier out, and then likely Shared Spoils as well with Plunder. Because even if this dies in combat, its Last Breath trigger will hit the opponent and trigger Plunder for us. And we're going to bank 1 mana here, and we'll gain 3 next turn, so we'll be able to go 2 and 2. Insert Spider-Man meme here. Opponent's notably not playing Gangplank as one of their champions, which is interesting. Sure. Resolves. You have thoroughly gotten excited, opponent. And open attacks here, or do they have something else to deploy?
Looking for trouble. It found you.
Will no one listen?
Will no one listen? It's a great one to draw. Start getting him ticking down here.
They're coming high.
Easy block. And then we'll open on Hired Gun next turn to give this vulnerable so we can get into combat and hook that up. Here I go. Maybe we just play Swain actually. Although Boxtopus. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna Hired Gun the Misfortune, and then we'll Boxtopus, and then we'll make some other things block. So vulnerable means anything can make this block it, and Challenger means that this can have something force it to block, so... It's a little annoying.
Pablo's been down, but his knee out!
So now I have to decide, do I want to hook Fizz or do I want to hook Misfortune? Fizz is pretty far from leveling.
Need a second. Is he here yet?
I think I probably want to kill Misfortune even though we made her vulnerable, because next turn we can Twisted Fate to kill these with the red card. So these will trade, they'll take 4, because I assume they don't want to trade 2 1s with their Fizz here. We're at 14, which is a pretty solid life total. We'll see. If they have a burst spell next turn, they might open on attacks. So I can't deploy Twisted Fate first. We'll see what they do. Definitely depends on the texture of their hand.
It is me!
Important to note, you don't want to emote too soon, because if you emote too soon, that's just asking to get blown out. So it's important that you queue up the emote here. So that way, once your trigger starts resolving, you can put the emote on the stack before the trigger finishes.
You pay, I know the spirits. These are my rules. Empire above all.
Opponent's average card quality is getting solidly outclassed at this point. They're an aggressive deck and we're a mid-range deck, so we've made it to the mid-game. We do get patch notes tomorrow. We get patch notes tomorrow, late morning, early afternoon, and the patch will go up on Wednesday. Shot! It's the chance to roll. This opportunity comes once in a gauntlet time. Metsu Fatmu, thank you for the 14 months of prep, but I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Alright, with that, the chat's going down again. Looks like another control matchup, mid-range control. Again, just full mulliganing everything but my 1-drop, looking for 2s and 3s to try and curve out. Not stellar, hoping to hit some decent draws here in our first couple. The old crusty Crodger on one here at least. Coming with the spike tail through the boxing glove. Entreat, while not guaranteeing us something that adds to the board. If we high roll, we'll hit our Draven on turn 3 with this, but this at least lets us use some of our mana so we won't burn resources inefficiently early. That's a great draw. Any 1, 2s, or 3s are exactly what we're looking for here.
No one's the wiser.
I think with this play, we're probably just opening on attacks next turn. Just get in for 5. Definitely. Depending on what they do here, we're probably just gonna like Tavern Keeper, heal this up to a 2/4. Just keep the pressure going every single turn. Yeah. And then on their turn, we can play old Zap Out, which will also give us enough spell mana for Entreat. And then Entreat, we have a few different 5-mana champions that we can play the following turn with Entreat plus 5.
Sunlight guide you, my brethren.
What will you have?
That tactile feedback, though. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Click for me, daddy. Click for me. Aww.
Let me guide you. Like a fish in water.
Glub, glub. Opponent's got a lot of scary 5s. I guess just Trundle. Probably supposed to open attacks next turn. I can, like, open attacks, we'll hit them, and then go this. Yeah, I think that's the play. We'll go Hawk into shared spoils here. And draw a fat monster.
Believe or burn.
Sure. Surviving with their dart interaction. Curse you, interaction. It's not a bad one. The old +2/+2 from our friendos.
By starlight.
I think I'm Twisted Fating red carding this turn because I want the trigger for Sejani. Is my plan.
Live with purpose.
They are targeting, so we could see like a Pale Cascade here to let this eat this.
Never lost a fair game. Or played one.
This gets Swain leveling 2, which is good for Leviathan coming.
Who says I don't share?
See if the opponent has a piece of Rampier, so they can level Trundle next turn.
The light of my stone warms the heavens.
That's nice.
Bow to no one.
So I think the plan here is this is one away from leveling. So if we order the elusive first, the elusive will hit them, level this. Sejani will hook this, and then Sejani's Overwhelm will trigger her leveled ability and frostbite everything else so they don't have decent blocks. And then should they survive the pressure I'm applying on the board here, I also have Leviathan and Howling Abyss as a way to generate extra longevity here. This attack might be a little ambitious, considering that they could have interaction here. This could be wrong.
Gotta trust your instincts.
A huge feel bad. I think there's. I don't think my line is different. Maybe I just like don't attack with Twisted Fate, but I don't think we can play around a Judgment in Singleton. Maybe the Culling Strike was wrong. If I don't Culling Strike there, my Captain Pharaon... I guess I didn't know I was drawing Captain Pharaon. I had Leviathan, though. Yeah, I think I was wrong, and I should have not used the Culling Strike so I could bank spell mana, so I could Whirling Death this turn. I think we just Captain, so we can try and kill them with Decimates next turn, but I definitely made a mistake here. I know it, like, feels bad to get blown out by the Judgment, but, like, you can't control them having the Judgment. I can control the fact that I shouldn't have used my Culling Strike, though, and I should have banked spell mana. If you spend a lot of time focusing on the things you can't change, you'll just never get better at card games. You gotta keep your mind set to the things that you could have impacted, made a difference with. Yep. Well, poop. Well, the good news is our Leviathan play didn't matter. The worst part about all of this is I don't know what to get our opponent for Christmas now, because they seem to have everything. I guess we can Leviathan, and maybe Swain can get us going here. The problem is that our opponent's gonna have like a really good open attack next turn, so if they have like anything else to add pressure to the board here, we're probably dead. This Whirling Death might be our savior. Swain still isn't leveled yet. Decimate can get him there, though. Problem here is opponent's going to have strong open attacks. Would really love to draw a Harsh Winds here. Okay.
Positions!
Shame this isn't one bigger. Oh, we're technically dead on board, right? Because this hooks it. Yeah, we need to draw Harsh Winds or a Frostbite spell. That's a solid not dead yet, right? I assume they're going to open attacks and use the pillar to hook my thing. We are dead to a stiff breeze here, but it is what it is.
Come.
Sure. You got it.
This is gonna be fun.
Dead to a Frostbite. We tried. We tried. What you gonna do? So, we lost the only one that mattered. I maybe made, there were like two decision points in that game that mattered. I could have not attacked with my Twisted Fate because of various combat tricks they could have had there, which included Judgment, and I could have perhaps not Culling Striked the Soraka, because it probably didn't matter ultimately. That would have given me more flexibility the following turn. Folding the Culling Strike would have also have given me the ability to Culling Strike the Ice Pillar down the line, and the Ice Pillar being able to make my thing vulnerable ended up being super relevant. Poo Poo Kitty, thank you for the third of the year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one wherever you're at. So just go sometimes, you know, like I said, you can't really, if you just focus on the cards your opponents had in games like that, you're going to drive yourself mad and you're just never going to get better at the game. Like, card games have variance. Your opponent's going to have good things at times. The best way to try and improve is to, like, go back and think about things you could have done differently. Were there tells that you didn't pick up on? You know, were your plays good with the information that you had at the time, etc. So I think there were a couple of things that last game I could have done slightly better with the information that I had, and we didn't, so we lost. It's just how it goes sometimes.